You're live.
Geno Smith with the Seattle Seahawks Radio Network, followed by the ASU Fight Song, because our next guest, he is the pre-halftime, post-game host for the Seattle Seahawks Radio Network. He's also an outstanding former Sun Devil, getting it all done. Paul Moyer now joining us here on the right, 30 good side. Paul, it's Manuch alongside Jackson. How are we doing this afternoon? But here's the thing, Paul. I can only eat crow so many ways since you smoked my Wildcats, okay? I've had ranch dressing, Italian, blue cheese. I'm running out of things to put on that crow, and quite frankly, I'm getting tired of it. But huge congrats. You whooped my cat's butt. I got to give you the floor.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Here's what I would say on your crow. Try just plain this time. You don't need any sauce on there. But look, Kansas State, great program. It's just nice for ASU to be back. And
Sure.
With Kenny, I've been telling people, I go, it just goes to show you if you have a work ethic that's second to none and you have passion about what you're doing, you can be successful. It's not magic out there. And I love him. I had a chance to meet him last year when they were up here when they played University of Washington. And University of Washington was, at the time, probably a top 3 team, undefeated. And I was talking with them, and they were not intimidated. I mean, they thought they were going to beat University of Washington, and they probably should have and almost did. And look, they still got a ways to go. But boy, it feels good. I just love the team. I just love the atmosphere and the type of players that they have. And again, I think the best is yet to come.
Well, Paul, it'll be like the good old days when you were here, sold out, jam-packed tomorrow, 1:30 kickoff on ESPN. And I was just telling Jax here, what an opportunity to prime time of the day, 2 prime teams to show the nation off who are wondering who this Scattaboo guys is, or who's this Levitt kid, or who's this Jordan Tyson kid, or you know what I'm saying? Who are these guys? And what a platform at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, at least our time.
I can't wait. I mean, I was there a couple weeks ago for the UCF game, which was a salute to military weekend, and the Seahawks had a bye, so I had an opportunity, which I don't get an opportunity to get down there very often. And I was hanging out with my buddies, Stein Koss. I'm going to throw some names out here. Kurt Ahrens. They were part of the Rose Bowl win in '85. And then my other guys, Kevin Turner, who you guys know, he I think jumps on your show every Tuesday. He does the sideline reporting for ASU. Scott Kagans and Todd Hans, who was a quarterback for us. We all won the Fiesta Bowl in '82. And we do a thing. We always get together once a year and hang out. And the reason I bring that up is, man, that was a great time. You won the Fiesta Bowl in '82. You won the Rose Bowl, I think it was '85. That's what it should be for ASU. And, hopefully Desmond Howard this time knows who ASU is when he goes to pick who's going to win versus BYU and ASU. But I really do. I mean, we've always said it. It's a one place in the country that no one can figure out why they're not winning. And I think they got the right person for the job. And I think Saturday will be a lot of fun for us.
Paul Moyer joins us here from the Seattle Seahawks Radio Network, pre-halftime and post-game host. All right, Paul, let's talk about the Seahawks-Cardinals matchup. Seahawks have been on a losing streak, and they've lost 5 of their last 6 games, I'm sure you're aware. Before that Niners game, what clicked in that 49ers game, and what do you think will click moving forward? Because that Geno Smith run to win the game is definitely something that Seattle fans think could flip the season.
Yeah, I think, similar to Arizona. And, again, I'm curious who's getting more love right now, the Cardinals or ASU. But I think when San Francisco and Arizona played, 6 weeks ago, whenever it was, and you guys came from behind to win at, San Francisco, there's something about that. It just breeds confidence in you. We've had a tough schedule. I mean, we've played San Francisco twice in this stretch. Played the Rams, played Buffalo, it played at Atlanta. I mean, so they're definitely well tested for competition. But I think it flipped really against the Rams 3 weeks ago. And before we had our bye week, we played well in that game. We should have won that game. There were 2 or 3 just huge plays that went against the Seahawks. We probably should have beat them by 21 points when you go and watch the film. And that was the first time where I said, okay, defensively, it's the first time all year where we played great team defense. Everybody did their job. Everybody was in the right place. Because I felt like we have the players. I think one of the big ones that's turned this team around is getting Ernest Jones in that trade. We just didn't have a true middle linebacker that had good instincts, that could also get off blocks and take on guards. And we had Tyrell Dodson and Jerome Baker that were just two very undersized linebackers, and they were just getting whooped. And it just didn't work. So whatever it is, it just feels like everything's in place now, and it's been 2 weeks in a row. I expect this is going to be a great game Sunday.
And Paul, it seems as though the drama surrounding DK Metcalf has settled down as well, too. He seemed a little excitable early in the year. It seems like a lot of that, as I call minutia, has settled down that locker room. Is that true, or is that from afar just looked that way?
Well, I think DK is one of those guys that just it's kind of like the Legion of Boom back in the day. Everybody saw them at times where, they were very strong personalities, a bunch of them. And that's DK too. DK has a strong personality. At times he's going to, get upset, and he's very emotional, and the camera is often on him. In the locker room, DK, players like him, coaches like him. He's a hard worker. He wants to win. So I don't think anybody has a problem with DK. And now that with JSN really coming on as a wide receiver and getting opportunities more than just in the intermediate routes, being able to, he took on the role 2 weeks ago against the Rams when DK was out. And, he could have had 250, 60 yards if two passes got called back that were 78 yards against him, and he still had over 170 yards. I think it's just now, okay, we got a complete team here at wide receiver, running backs, all that stuff. And I think DK actually likes it. I mean, he just wants to win.
Paul Moyer, he is the pre-halftime, post-game host for Seattle Radio. Paul Moyer joining us here on the right Toyota Gus line. So when you look at this team after 10 games, Paul, and you've been around the game many, many years, ASU, Seattle, broadcast, you've been coaching, what sustains this Seattle team after 10 games? If there's anything in particular, one thing, two things, maybe they haven't found it yet. What do you think it is?
Well, I think defensively we found it. We have a really deep group of defensive linemen, good players too. Jaron Reed, Byron Murphy, our first-round pick this year. Leonard Williams is playing at a Pro Bowl level. We picked up Roy Robertson Harris in a trade before the trade deadline, and just the way they've been able to rotate and keep guys fresh. You're starting to see that pay off. And then I look at defensively, guys. I don't know if we have the one guy that you would say we have to take care of him every play. But I also don't think your offensive coordinator is going, who do we attack? Because I don't think we have a weakness on defense. I don't know if we have the greatest player at his position player either. But our corners, Reek Woolen is starting to play. That's going to be a great matchup, him and Marvin Harrison Jr., if he matches up with them. Devin Witherspoon, I think, is one of the best corners. I mean, he's disruptive in the run game, pass game. And then I think a kid, just Josh Jobe, who's we picked up as well, has really solidified our secondary. So I think our defense is sustainable. It's just taken us a while to really figure out Coach McDonald's system. Offensively, still a work in progress, you guys. Our offensive line is not great. I think we've got skilled players. I do believe our quarterback's good. But we're only going to be as good as our offensive line. And so we'll see. I'm hoping it's gotten better. We've got a new center. We've got our right tackle back finally, Abraham Lucas. It looked much better last week, but we got to stack 2 weeks in a row against Arizona to make it legit.
Paul, I'm curious because you obviously study this matchup on both sides. For the Arizona Cardinals side of things, what's one area for the Arizona Cardinals that you think the Seattle Seahawks can take advantage of? And what's an area that you are concerned about the Seahawks when you face the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, I'm concerned about a lot of things.
Look,
Kyler Murray is become this mature quarterback now, and he's become a pocket passer, and he can sit there and he gets deep in his drop, and it's usually you don't like quarterbacks getting that deep because it makes it easier for edge rushers to get around a tackle, or the tackles are in they've got to cover a lot of space. With Kyler Murray, he antagonizes shows. I'm going to get deep, and if you do rush high, I'm going to step up and I'm out out of the pocket and hit. That's a problem. So that's one. Obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner. We got to stop the running game. They're just Trey McBride. I mean, that's a matchup nightmare for any linebacker and safety. So offensively, it's all across the board. What I didn't expect, guys, was all of a sudden this defense to turn it on. Didn't think they had that much talent, but the last 3-4 games they've been playing lights out. Big game against the Jets, obviously. You got Budda Baker. It's just a crazy stat that he has 100 tackles as a safety, and I think 74 of them or something are solo tackle. I mean, it's just a ridiculous number. So they're a year or two ahead of I think where they thought they would be defensively, and they're playing really well. They're physical. I love your middle linebackers. I mean, the way they diagnose stuff. So I just think it's two teams that feel good about where they are right now, and obviously the skilled players on both sides of the ball are going to be the ones that make the biggest impact in this game.
Paul, enjoy that ride with the Sun Devils tomorrow, 1:30, 12:30 your time, kickoff on ESPN. Enjoy the ride with Seattle. Sounds like the ship is getting righted. And by the way, is the what's the bomb that came through there, the storm bomb? What do they call that thing?
Yeah, it was the cyclone bomb. Typhoon bomb or cyclone bomb. Yeah, that was an amazing. It was only about an hour or two of wind, but it shut down. I was without power for 3 days. I don't know if they have power yet at the VMAC at the practice facility. They don't have hot water there, nothing. So they said it's brought them all together, though, which I guess you have to be because there's no power around there. But yeah, shut the city down pretty hard for a couple of days.
So what's the weather like going to be for Sunday afternoon?
Well, typical here is probably a little bit of spit of rain. Probably
break whenever.
Cold in the 40s would be my guess. Just your typical perfect weather, which probably favors Arizona a little bit, just because I think you guys have a better running game than we do. But I think I think Arizona beating the 49ers, us beating the 49ers. I think the Rams are not that good. We should have beat them. I think the future is Arizona and the Seahawks. I think they are the youngest. They've got, I think, momentum on their side. I think this is a big game for who takes control of the NFC West over the next few years.
Paul, always great to catch up with you. We will talk to you in 2 weeks as you guys head out there, Arizona. But thanks again. Enjoy those Devils.
You got to go Devils, man. Appreciate it.
It's Paul Moyer. He is the pre-halftime and post-game host for the Seattle Seahawks. And Paul is sponsored today by All City Towing. Join the team with the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. They're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit them at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Well, coming up next, it's Football 50. It's Week 12. Started last night with the Browns upsetting the Steelers in the snow, 24-17.